way. You're very personable, and I just felt, yeah, I kind of get what he's talking about, and if I can learn how to do this, I think it would be massively helpful. So the webinar was really good, because I knew I would feel comfortable talking to you, because you just came across so well. My husband had left me, trying to think how long it was before, 2 or 3 months, slightly longer maybe. I can't. If we're 8 weeks in, where are we now? Anyway, 3 or 4 months earlier, he had left, gone and was with somebody else. Was really struggling to deal with that. But as a secondary thing, because I'd relied on him very heavily when my mum passed away, sort of 5 years earlier, I think there was a lot of unresolved grief from my mum that was connected to him. So when he went, I didn't have him to turn to, and I also didn't have my mum, because she'd gone previously. And the fact that there was now neither of them there, I was just really, really struggling. I couldn't even talk about my mum at the beginning. I would just get so emotional, and kind of the same with him as well. So yeah, just those two things, really, trying to find a way to move forward. I didn't feel under pressure at all. I think talking to you one-to-one was really good. And like with anything, when you feel in a position that you want to make a change or to do something. I mean, I'm sure you get this all the time. As soon as I started speaking to you and you asked me what the things were, you just got really teary. And you kind of got past that, and you were like, yeah, I can see, and I'm sure we can help. And that just kind of made me think, great. I didn't need to go into massive details, but I could tell that doing something was going to be beneficial. I think the real breakthrough for me was probably, I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks in, the third coaching call. I just got all overwhelmed again. And I messaged you at the end of that call and said I couldn't pinpoint what it was, but I was just feeling really overwhelmed with emotion. And through a WhatsApp conversation, we managed to pin it down and use some of the tools that you'd given. And I managed to release to that, and that was huge. And it was just phenomenal how much difference that made. Once, because I mean, that coaching call was an hour long, and I was emotional for the whole of that. And within 10 or 15 minutes of directed, you gave me direction to work to Debox, and I got that done like 15 minutes, and I'd kind of 20 minutes, and I'd kind of deboxed this massive thing. And ever since then, that's been, there's been once or twice that I've thought, I had a little bit of a wobble, but amazing, absolutely amazing. I don't think I could have done that on the Zoom call. So doing it kind of, I mean, even through WhatsApp, but I know you can do one-to-ones. And I think at that point, that was what I needed. And that was hugely helpful. But the fact that there are different avenues, things like WhatsApp communication and one-to-ones if needs be, that's brilliant to know that that's there. Had just that teary, massive feeling of just being overwhelmed by everything and not knowing what to do with it had just gone. And I was like, and then I thought, I'm really tired, I want to go to bed. So kind of those next few days, thinking about those things that had overwhelmed me, like my mum and him leaving and stuff, it didn't make me feel at all. I just kind of thought, okay, I can deal with that, which was amazing. So that helped, actually seeing how you make it work. And you could actually see her release, and it was so powerful. It really was powerful. I genuinely wish I'd come across you sooner, because I had a few 2 or 3 months of really quite difficult times. And once I started this, I don't know, maybe that was where I needed to be before I could start this process. But
maybe
it's just been massive. And I've talked to it about my friends, and obviously you can't explain the whole thing, but I've kind of said, this is the idea, and I've done this, and they all kind of say, it sounds amazing, it sounds like, and I'm like, it is. It's just, it is unbelievable how much it's helped. For me, certainly. And I know that some
Yeah.
of the other ladies in there feel the same. They've really had a lot of benefit from it. So, what have you got to lose? Everything to gain and nothing to lose by giving it a
Yeah.
go.